Okay, a little bit longer one. Take a second, read it through, underline what you think is important, and then come back to us and we will highlight and take notes together. Perfect. Okay, so I highlighted a little bit more because you kind of need to know what compound events are, right? Compound events, there's two options, right? So the first option right here is either two outcomes taking place but not both, right? So you want either or is what we're looking for, right? So when you spin a spinner, you either want it to land on red or blue, right? You roll a die and you want it to land on 2 or 4, right? Something like that. Okay, and the other one is one event followed by another event. So you want to roll a 2 and then you want to roll a 4. Or you want to spin and land on green and then you want to land on red. So those are your two options, and that's what we're looking for, the how-to, right? The cool part about these math notes is they're very similar. They say to find the probability, right? For two independent events, to find the probability. So we're looking at how to do these things, right? So your first one, we're going to take some notes on the side, right? So if this says or, right, the key word is ors that we're looking at, right? So if it says find this one right here, it says pick out of a deck of cards a king or a queen, right? That means we want red or green, right? 2 or 4. The first thing you need to do is find the probability. Oops. Of each event, right? So rolling a die, a 6-sided die, that's 1 out of 6, right? Flipping a coin, that's 1 out of 2, right? Things like that. Picking a king out of a deck of cards. Now there's 4 kings out of 52 cards total. I don't know if you guys know deck of cards. Right? The second one you got to do is you got to add them together, right? And so you add the probabilities just like they did. 4 kings, there are 4 queens, and you add them together. The thing you need you need the LCD if you're working with fractions, okay? Okay, so the next one is to find both one and the other. So I want a queen and then, or a king and then a queen. Or for this one, a 1, you roll a die, it's a 1 and then a 6. So if it says and, then this is what we're looking for. These are the key words that we want, right? Or 1 then 6. So the first thing you got to do, same thing, find probability of each event, right? And the second one is you're going to multiply, right? So these are the two differences. The first one you add, second one you multiply. You just need to be able to know the difference between both. And when you multiply fractions, you don't need the LCD. Okay? Right? So let's go into their examples, right? So for the first one, the king or the queen, right? So I had there are 4 kings, right? So diamonds, hearts, clubs, and spades. Right? There are 4 kings. There are 4 queens, diamonds, hearts, clubs, and spades. And all you got to do is add them together, right? So find the least common denominator. Then you add the numerator, keep the denominator the same, and simplify. Okay? So for the next one, for the probability of 1 and 6, right? So we have a numbered cube, right? 1 through 6. The probability of rolling a 1 is 1 out of 6. There's only one number 1. The probability of rolling a 6 is 1 out of 6. So what do? You multiply, and what we could do is we multiply straight across. No need for at least common denominator. 1 times 1 is 1. 6 times 6 is 36. Simplify if you can, and then probability, right? So the same thing is if you wanted to roll a 1 on a green cube and a 6 on a red cube, and you roll both of them at the same time, it's doing the same thing. Right? So whatever your probability is, if you want this one and then this one, you got to multiply. If you want this one or this one, then you add. Right? Okay? Do some practice problems, and then that's it. Thank you.